Never split the difference. FBI Negotiator's Secrets by Chris Voss. Summary. What if I told you that compromising or splitting the difference is often the worst way to negotiate? And that the secrets to getting what you want in business, salary discussions, or even personal conflicts lie in the high-stakes world of FBI hostage negotiation. Chris Voss, a former lead FBI international kidnapping negotiator, reveals these powerful, counterintuitive techniques in his game-changing book, Never Split the Difference. Today we're dissecting Never Split the Difference. Chris Voss argues that negotiation isn't a rational process, it's deeply emotional. Forget logical arguments and leverage. The key is tactical empathy. This means understanding the emotions, perspective, and worldview of the person across the table, not necessarily to agree with them, but to influence them effectively. This book throws out traditional negotiation theory and provides a toolkit of field-tested techniques. These methods are designed to build rapport, gather crucial information, and shape outcomes in your favor, all without making needless compromises. This summary will cover the essential tools Voss teaches, explaining the what, why, and how behind each. Prepare to transform how you negotiate absolutely anything. Now let's explore the core techniques Chris Voss shares straight from the FBI playbook. 1. The foundation. First up is the absolute foundation: tactical empathy, combined with the right voice tone. Tactical empathy isn't about agreement. It's about deeply understanding the feelings and the mindset that are driving the other person. You need to recognize their perspective to truly see what's behind their demands. Just as crucial is your voice tone. Voss strongly recommends using what he calls the late-night FM DJ voice. Think calm, slow, with a downward inflection at the end of sentences. This projects confidence and has a soothing effect, making the other side feel safer and more open to listening. Applying this requires intense, active listening, focusing on understanding emotions beyond just the words spoken. It also means consciously controlling your own voice, ensuring you remain calm and reassuring, even when things get tense. 2. Mirroring. Next, let's look at a simple but powerful technique for building connection instantly. This is called mirroring. Mirroring involves simply repeating the last 1 to 3 key words, or the most critical words that your counterpart just said. It sounds basic, yet it's incredibly effective. Doing this builds subconscious rapport because it signals you're paying close attention and makes the other person feel truly heard. Often, it naturally prompts them to elaborate further and reveal more valuable information.
Brainy Bytes.
To use mirroring effectively, approach it with genuine curiosity, not like a robot mimicking sounds. Listen carefully for those impactful words or phrases to repeat. This technique helps keep your focus exactly where it needs to be, on them. 3. Labeling. Another essential tool is labeling. This means verbally identifying and naming the other person's emotions. You start with phrases like, "It seems like," "It sounds like," or "It looks like." Labeling negative emotions, such as fear or anger, actually diffuses their power by bringing them into the open. Labeling positive emotions reinforces them. Crucially, it shows the other person you understand their emotional reality, which builds trust. Applying this requires observing emotional cues like tone and body language, and then making educated guesses about their feelings using a calm, inquisitive tone. Remember not to say, "You are angry," but rather, It seems like you might be feeling angry. 4. Getting to know. Contrary to popular belief, hearing no is not the end of a negotiation. It's often the beginning of the real conversation. People feel safer and more in control when they say no because it affirms their autonomy. Sometimes you actually need to guide them towards saying no on minor points to make them feel comfortable enough to genuinely consider saying yes later to what matters. To do this, use no-oriented questions. For example, ask, "Is now a bad time to talk?" Or, "Is it a ridiculous idea to suggest?" Don't fear hearing no. Instead, view it as progress and an opportunity to understand their boundaries. 5. That's right. The magic words you're aiming for in any negotiation aren't yes or even "you're right." The real breakthrough comes when the other side says, "That's right." This phrase signals that they feel you have perfectly understood their position, their feelings, and their perspective. You achieve this moment by accurately summarizing their viewpoint and emotional state, often using a combination of labeling and mirroring techniques until they spontaneously offer that confirmation. Reaching "that's right" builds deep trust and indicates you've truly connected. This requires exceptional listening skills. 6. Calibrated questions. How and what? Avoid asking why questions in negotiations, as they often sound accusatory and put people on the defensive. Instead, use open-ended how and what questions. These are called calibrated questions, and they are designed to make the other side pause, think critically, and often start solving your problem for you. Good examples include, "How am I supposed to do that?" Or, "What are we trying to accomplish here?" Or, "How can we make this work towards that goal?" Asking these questions calmly and genuinely helps uncover their constraints and motivations. It guides their thinking towards a solution that incorporates your needs without direct confrontation.
Brainy Bytes.
7th, accusation audit. This technique involves proactively listing every negative assumption, fear, or accusation the other side might be thinking about you or your position before they even get a chance to voice it. You might say something like, "It probably seems like we're being unfair," or "You might think we haven't fully considered your situation." Addressing these potential negatives head-on disarms them instantly. It shows you're aware of their perspective and builds trust through radical transparency, clearing the air for a more productive conversation. This requires anticipating their negative perceptions and having the courage to address them calmly and factually. 8. Anchoring and framing. Numbers matter, and how you present them matters even more. Use numbers strategically to anchor the other side's perception of value or the acceptable bargaining range. Sometimes starting with an extreme anchor can make your actual desired number seem much more reasonable in comparison. Also leverage the psychological principle of loss aversion. People are generally more motivated to avoid a loss than they are to achieve an equivalent gain. Frame your proposals highlighting what they stand to lose if the deal doesn't happen. Using strategic ranges when making offers can also be highly effective. Applying this requires careful preparation of your numbers and how you'll present them, understanding the psychology involved. 9. Uncovering black swans. Find the hidden leverage. In any negotiation, there are black swans. These are the unknown unknowns, those small hidden pieces of information or leverage points that, if discovered, can completely shift the entire dynamic of the negotiation. Finding these black swans requires intense, active listening and sharp observation skills. Pay close attention to things that seem surprising, out of place, or are mentioned with unusual emotion. Probe gently around these areas using open-ended questions. Cultivate extreme curiosity and be prepared for unexpected information that can unlock breakthroughs. Real-world application. Becoming a better negotiator. So how do you put these powerful techniques from Chris Voss into practice in your own life? 1. Shift your focus. Consciously move away from pure logic and compromise. Instead, prioritize understanding and influencing the emotional landscape of the negotiation through tactical empathy. 2. Listen intensely. Remember that negotiation is largely about gathering information. Use tools like mirroring, labeling, and strategic silence to encourage the other side to talk more. 3. Embrace no and aim for "that's right." Don't fear hearing no. Use it strategically to create safety and uncover real issues. Focus your efforts on achieving that "that's right" moment, signifying true understanding. 4th, guide with questions. Master the art of asking calibrated how and what questions. Let these guide the conversation and encourage the other side to help solve challenges. 5. Manage emotions carefully. Use labeling and your voice tone to manage their emotions effectively while maintaining your own calmness. Use accusation audits proactively to clear negativity. 6th, practice.
Brainy Bytes.
Everywhere. The key is consistent practice. Start using mirroring, labeling, and calibrated questions in low-stakes everyday interactions with colleagues, family, or even customer service calls to build your skill and confidence. I hope this breakdown of Chris Voss's Never Split the Difference gives you powerful new tools for any negotiation. If it did, please show some love by hitting like and subscribe to join our Brainy Bytes community for more practical summaries. Want to help fuel future content like this? You can support the channel by buying me a coffee through the link below. It helps me dedicate more time to finding and summarizing these impactful books for you all. And speaking of impactful books, what negotiation, persuasion, or communication classic should I tackle next? Let me know your suggestions in the comments. Your input drives the channel. Thanks for watching.